Hello there, my name's Adrian. Today I'm going to be talking about how to play Sound and Vision by David Bowie. We've got two guitar parts that you can hear in this song. In one speaker you've got a more strummy chordal part which is played using quite an extreme tremolo sound. Then in the other speaker you've got what I guess is the signature guitar part of the song, this really nice part played using sixths. So I'm going to be looking at both of those. According to my copy of Low in the credits, these guitar parts are played by Carlos Alomar and a guy called Ricky Gardner. I'm not familiar with the name Ricky Gardner, to be honest, but apparently he played on a lot of great records, including The Passenger by Iggy Pop, which is quite interesting. So let's get started by looking at how to play the chords to this song. I'm going to divide this song up into 4 or so different sections, which I'm just going to label A, B, C and D, simply because I'm not sure exactly what else to call these sections. It's not really a conventionally structured song in the verse, chorus kind of a sense, so I think this is probably the best way to look at it. We're in the key of G here, and most of this strummy rhythm guitar part is played using standard bar chord shapes. We're going to start with this G bar chord played by barring at the 3rd fret, and I'm playing it in this kind of rhythm. And it's, I guess, a kind of 16th note groove to this song, so you want to be feeling those 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4, those 16th note subdivisions. I guess loosely with my right hand I'm playing down, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, up, down, down, sometimes maybe ghosting in some of those other 16th notes as well. Best if you can get this kind of thing just by listening and getting it by ear. If you want to count it, it's kind of 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. I think I'm giving it a slight accent on the and of 2 and on beat 4 as well, just to help with the groove. So that's the basic rhythm pattern which you can use throughout the entire song. Let me take you through the actual chords then to the first section of the song. We're going to start with a couple of bars of G. Then we've got a couple of bars of A minor, just using a standard A minor bar chord at the 5th fret. Then we've got 2 bars of D, and here I'm using a D bar chord with the root on the 5th string, just barring at the 5th fret. Then we're back to G again for another 2 bars. So that's the A section of the song. 2 bars of G, 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of D, and then another 2 bars of G. And that entire section is then repeated. So we've got 2 A sections at the top of the song. Moving on to the next section, what I'm going to call the B section. It's quite similar to the A section, but we've only got a couple of chords now. We've got 2 bars of G, 2 bars of A minor, but this time we go back to G for another 2 bars. So that's the B section. 2 bars of G, 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of G. And again, that whole section is then repeated a second time. Next bit of the song is this bit. At the start of the song it's played instrumentally, then later on Bowie is singing over this bit. It's the I will sit right down waiting for the gift of sound and vision, that bit of the song. And here we've got a C bar chord at the 3rd fret going to a G bar chord. Rhythm is something like this. So with the first part of the bar is C, and then I think on and 4 we're changing to G. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Do that twice, then we've just got another 2 bars of G. Then we repeat all of that one more time. And 2 bars of G. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Then finally there's one more section which is just a kind of linking passage which comes at the very end of the introduction to the song, and then once a bit later on in the song. And we've simply got a bar of A minor, bar of D, then we've just got one strum on an E minor chord. There's just a pause before the singing starts, and I'm just using a standard first position E minor chord here. So that is the basic rhythm guitar, the basic harmony to the song. And if you want to, you can play through the entire song like that and sing along. You could do quite a good stripped down version of this song, just playing it on an acoustic guitar and singing, because like with a lot of great songs, it still stands up if you just got the chord progression and a vocal melody. I think that's often the test of a really good song. So you can play it very simply like that, just with this chordal guitar part. So you should have all of the bits you need to do that, the A, B, C, D sections. Have a close listen to the original recording as always, and you should be able to piece things together. Moving on to what I suppose is the main guitar part to the song. I'm not actually sure whether this guitar part is played by Carlos Alomar or by Ricky Garden. I can't seem to find out, but somebody might know the answer to that one. Now this part, as I say, is played using the musical interval of a sixth as its basis, and now's probably not the time to go into a full-on music theory lesson, but it is nice just to understand the basics of this. What we're doing is using pairs of notes which are 6 notes apart in a scale. For this song we're in the key of G, and the G major scale is our parent scale. If you start on the root note, the G note, and count up 6 notes, you've got G, A, B, C, D, E, and 6 notes up the G major scale. If you play the first and the 6th note together, you've got that nice sweet sounding 6th interval, and you can continue that process with all of the other notes in the scale, generating this series of 6 which are sort of sticking to the notes in the scale. So you've got this kind of thing. Really nice sweet sounding intervals, and that's what's used to create this guitar part. And you can use these shapes to outline the chords to the song, the chords that we just looked at in the previous segment to this lesson. So what I'm calling the A section of the song sounds like this. In fact, this whole section and the entire song actually is played just using 2 finger configurations of 6th shapes. We've got this shape here played with the 1st and 2nd finger at 2 consecutive frets. That's a minor 6th. And then we've got this shape here where the 2nd and 3rd finger are playing at the same fret. That's a major 6th. So just those 2 finger shapes are needed to play this entire song. Now the A section starts with this shape. I'm playing the 1st fret on the 1st string with my 1st finger, and I'm playing the 4th fret on the 3rd string with my 2nd finger. Now you want to play both of those notes at the same time. I'm doing that by picking the lowest note with my pick, and I'm using the middle finger of my right hand to simultaneously pluck the 1st string. So I'm using a kind of pick and fingers technique. You could just as easily play it using entirely finger style, so just using a thumb and index finger, or you could play it all with the pick, just strumming like that. If you do that, you just need to be careful that you're muting that in between string just by leaning into it with one of the fingers in your left hand to make sure that everything stays clean. So this section of the song is going to start with that 6th shape on minor 6th, then we're moving to this major 6th shape. I'm playing the 5th fret on the 3rd string with my 2nd finger and the 5th fret on the 1st string with my 3rd finger. Playing that shape, 2 notes together. Immediately I'm sliding that up 2 frets to the 7th fret, then I'm coming back to the initial shape. So we've got this so far. And that's all outlining really nicely the sound of that G chord, the underlying harmony at this point in the song. So then when the chord changes to A minor, we're going to do this, which is just moving our 6th shape, our major 6th, from the 5th fret to the 7th fret and then back again. I think you can either slide up to the 7th fret and then pick back at the 5th fret, or you can pick and slide back, or you can slide both ways. I think the actual articulation of that varies a little bit throughout the song, so it's up to you exactly how you do that. Then there's just a variation on that. We're going to this higher shape. This is a minor 6th shape up at the 8th fret, my 1st finger playing the 8th fret on the 1st string, 2nd finger playing the 9th fret on the 3rd string. Then I'm back to our 7th fret major 6th shape and our 5th fret shape. So just sliding from the 7th to the 5th fret as well. So far we've got this. Then the chord is going to change to a D, and we're going to do this. Just using that 2nd and 3rd finger shape throughout here. I'm sliding from the 5th fret to the 7th fret, and then I'm sliding up to the 7th fret on the next string group over. So I'm sliding into the 7th fret on the 2nd string and on the 4th string. And I'm doing that twice. And then we're back to the initial pattern which outlines the G major chord, which again we're doing twice. And that's the A section of the song. The B section is even more straightforward. We're just moving from G to A minor and back again, outlining those chords using these 6. So it's exactly the same shapes as we've had before for the G chord. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, then A minor. Just moving from the 5th to the 7th fret and back again, and then it's back to G. And that's the B section. That whole thing is then repeated. C section, that's the bit where the chords are going. It's the I will sit right down waiting for the gift of sound and vision. And here we're going to play so exactly the same shapes as we've had before. We've got our 5th fret, 7th fret shapes, back to the 5th fret, and then back to our 3rd fret minor 6th shape. So just playing that last shape twice. Do that whole thing again. And then we've got a quick slide from the 5th to the 7th fret, and then back to the 3rd fret. So just the whole of that bit we've got. And I think we do that bit again. Little connecting bit, and then we repeat the whole section. It's actually easier to play this than it is to describe it, to be honest. I think if you just listen to that, it's fairly straightforward. It's just played using these 3 basic shapes. So that's the C section of the song. There's only one more bit to the song, and that's just this little linking passage just before the vocal comes in the intro, and that's outlining the A minor chord. We're just sliding up to the 5th fret on the 1st and 3rd strings, and then D chord, we're sliding up to the 7th fret on the 2nd and 4th strings, and then there's just a sort of pause on an E minor chord, and here I think the guitar part does play out a standard open position E minor chord. So that's about it in terms of this guitar part. If you listen to the entire song, as I say, there are some variations, just slight variations in terms of rhythm and articulation, in terms of where the slides are placed and that kind of thing, which you can pick up by ear if you really want to get those details right. But I think once you've got the basic part, it's quite nice just to improvise with it and make it your own a little bit and throw in your own variations. And that's about it for this lesson. I hope you enjoy playing this song, and I hope to see you again for another lesson very soon. Bye bye.